Hi, welcome to the Sheepish Podcast, episode 10. Today is Sunday, January 20th, 2013. My name's Holly, and I'm your host. So, welcome. Episode 10. I know we're in double digits. It's so cool. Um, we are up to 100 members in the Rav group. I know, I didn't put off podcasting for this, but it's a really nice coincidence since it's obviously been a little more than a week that I've podcasted. So awesome. Let's go ahead and get started and welcome the new members to the Rav group. We have got Linda from Pennsylvania, Dolores from Michigan, Pam from Illinois, Megan from Minnesota, Amy from Minnesota, Emily from the DC area, Christina Balance, Robin from New Mexico, Laura from Virginia, Amanda from Tennessee, Loopy from New Jersey, Andy from Arizona, Cindy from California, Betsy from Colorado, Brenda from Minnesota, Judith from British Columbia, Canada, Linda from Washington, and Jen from Illinois. Wow, I think that's the longest list I've had to read. Welcome, all of you. And I know that a few of you have introduced yourself on the group, so thank you for that. And a couple of you have sent me some really nice messages, so thank you so much. Welcome. I know, 100 members, which means I did a little stash diving, and we, later in the episode, will be doing a prize drawing. Yay! Just so you know what we're doing, this is what I'm going to be drawing for. It's Vesper sock yarn in the Winter's Passing colorway. So we'll draw for that at the end of the episode. And we're just going to get started with everything else. I know. And I have show notes. I'm not going to actually wing this. We'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and get started with what's on the current roster. I'm going to actually put my show notes over there so that way I don't lose them like I did last week. Sort of. On the roster right now, currently, you guys have seen this before. It's Celia by Ariane Caron Lacoste. It is that pullover, that nice big slouchy pullover, and progress has been made. Look, oh wow, that's looking really, really red, and it's a little darker than that. But you can see it's in the round. I know, progress has been made. I actually took this to work a couple of nights this week during webinars because even though I'm still doing all of the increasing, and I think I've only got 4 more increases to go, I was in the round and it made for a lot more mindless knitting. So yeah, hopefully I'll have that done before the weather gets too hot. We'll see. We'll see. It's done in the Mad Tosh Twisty K in Tart. It is a lovely, lovely yarn. I know that I've waxed poetic about this a number of different times, but I just can't say enough about the yarn. Now, I don't know. I'm going to actually hold this up again because I don't know if you guys can tell. Yeah, I can kind of tell. And then it changed. Right here is where I added in my new ball of yarn. I'm so happy I'm on the second ball of yarn. I thought about ripping back. I can see it better when I'm looking right at it, but on this, oh yeah, you can see it really right there. Yeah, I'm still not ripping it back. I don't care. If I had been in the round from the beginning on this and hadn't been slogging through all of the increases, just trying to get to this point, I might have ripped it back a few inches to blend it a little better or ripped it out and started again. No. No, there's no way I'm doing that. I may. We're going to see how I feel the more I look at it. I may just go ahead and wind the third ball of yarn, just start with being a good knitter and switching out balls, but not right now. So yeah, Celia, it's made some progress. I'm very, very happy about that. Next up on the needles, you saw or on the roster, you saw last week Celestarium. Celestarium's probably in a similar spot. It's actually grown a few inches. Actually, I think it's grown about that many. It's grown about that much. I put this in earlier this week when I realized, oh yeah, I needed a podcast. So it's grown about that much since the last time we talked. It really is a lovely knit. I love working on this. It's just being able to sit down and work with beads isn't that easy. It's not hard to do, and I thought about taking this for some of the webinars I've done this week, but I have to really keep track on the chart because there's something going on 4 different charts. So yeah, I sit down and work on it when I can. Plus, it's taking forever to just finish a round, but it's lovely. It will be finished not in time for the fiber space knit along. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I will just have a very lovely, lovely shawl when it's all over. This is done in the Skein BFL, so it's 100% BFL in the pearl colorway. And I got these beads from a local bead store, Potomac Bead. And of course, I got the expensive kind. Luckily, I have two vials of them, so I shouldn't need to replace them any time. I shouldn't run out. But yeah, and I've got new stitch markers on here. I'll show off more of those later. Yeah. For once, I actually didn't fall down and go boom. It happened to come in the mail because I'd ordered it before. And then finally, I needed a project last night. Yes, you guys know how I feel about hockey. Hockey's back. We're going to talk about that more and then what's making me happy. But I needed a project that I didn't need to think about. So I pulled out a few skeins of yarn, showed them to my mom, had her pick out which ones that she liked, and she actually picked this color. And I got to say, I love it. This is the Hiawassee Creek Dye Works. This is actually just my simple stripy sock. Wrong colors for my team, I know, but who cares? It's beautiful. It's a simple stripy sock. It is, actually, let me reach over here. So Hiawassee Creek Dye Works. I'm going to come in closer to see if I can get that. There we go. It is the sassafras sock striping in the Winter Wonderland colorway. These are not colors that I normally gravitate towards, but oh my goodness, they're beautiful. And oh my goodness, I'm glad that I bought this. It's about 390 yards of a fingering weight superwash merino nylon blend. It's an 80-20 blend. I've been knitting on this since last night. I probably ended up like right at the beginning of the blue stripe last night during the game because I kept putting it down. And then after a while, I just wasn't doing anything except holding my head. Yeah. But I knit on it a little bit more last night afterwards and then a little bit today. I'm surprise, magic looping it. I never magic loop, or hardly ever. I never magic loop socks, actually. So I decided that I was going to just magic loop it, throw it on some needles. So these are the Hiya Sharps, and you can see that they've got a pretty sharp point. I like that, but they're not so sharp that they hurt. My reasoning is I like this cord. If I'm going to actually sorry, I keep looking because my monitor's over there. If I'm going to do magic loop, I want a cord that's nice and bendy. So, yeah, I'm liking these. They're going slightly quickly. I've gotten a ton of compliments on these because I actually was teaching. I taught yesterday and today, and when I was in the shop before I started teaching today, everybody wanted to know what this was. The base is really squishy, which for me is not something that I'm used to with, I don't want to say I'm not used to it, but it's I've had some merino nylon bases that haven't been so squishy. So feeling this, and it feels like it's 100% merino, but it's got the nylon in it, that makes me happy. I kind of want to know what this base is and then have every dye or die with this. What, the world doesn't revolve around me? But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I'm wondering how the color transition, like when I wash the sock, if the color's gonna come off onto the white. I'm just gonna get get color catchers and throw them in. But I can say that the blue's pretty well set because I've had this wrapped around my fingers and no blue. So that's a good thing. And I've had some really bad luck with blues in the past. Oh, sorry for the clattering. You're gonna hear more of it. So that's actually what's on the current roster. Not a big change to me. And I've got a project that's actually going to be the hockey knitting project. um, and also, it's going to live in the purse for just random. I just need to knit to decompress, and I can't focus on a pattern. So, yeah, that's what's on the roster. What's on the current roster. So, as you can tell, nothing's joined the alumni roster. Sad face. I really need to start finishing stuff. Hopefully, hopefully I'll get some time to work on one or more of the projects to get them to a point where they are finished, as in they need to be washed, blocked, ends woven in, something like that. Um, with the Celia, I am almost at the point where I can separate for the arms. So that should go a lot quicker once I can pull the arms off. So yeah, the scouting report is some stash enhancement that I told you all about before the new year. So I bought because it was pretty, but it was before the new year. So yay. As you guys know, sorry, pulling out the second part of the stash enhancement that goes with the first. As you guys know, I might have mentioned, huge Downton Abbey fan. And when Canon Dye Works, when I happened to catch one of their updates, they happened to have some Downton inspired colorways, and they also had some Downton inspired stitch markers for sale. I indulged. So I got 2 skeins of the Charles Merino sock. One is in the William colorway. And I gotta say, I love this. I love all the colors. It's very earthy, which reminds me of William, who I miss. But yeah, I love this. I love the feel of it. Yeah. Canon hand dyeds, which is, and she's on Etsy as The Amy Lee Show. So I think it's etsy.com/shop/The Amy Lee Show, something like that. But this is the second one, Charles Merino sock, and this is the Lady Mary colorway. And this is actually coming out a little more purpley than it is in real life, maybe a little bit more red. But I love this. This is going to have to be a shawlette of some kind. It's 395 yards, so we'll see where we go with this. Maybe an Ishbel. I don't know. I could need another Ishbel, but maybe. This, I don't know. I'm taking suggestions for this because I really want to get this on the needles. It makes me happy. I love the earthy colors. I don't know why I'm drawn to earthy colors lately, but yeah, this needs to go on the needles. So that's the yarn part of it. And there were also these lovely, lovely stitch markers. I'm going to hold them up separately, but you can see that there are 3 there. I have got, oops, a number of different ones on here. And I think it's that the color of the bead is inspired by a character. I'm not sure. I remember that there was a story with them and I've promptly forgotten it. Oops, I'm going to come closer to this. There we go. So you can kind of see how pretty, pretty, pretty they are. And they just, oh, oops. Okay, stop shaking. Okay, there you go. These are nice and pale. These are gorgeous. I I immediately changed out stitch markers on the Celestarium because I wanted to use these because they make me happy. And they come with a little bag. Um, let's see. These are from a um, a beater out in California, and I have forgotten to write down. I can't find the card. I was looking for the card frantically before I recorded, and I can't find it. So if I find it, I will put it in the show notes. But these I did find on Cannon Hand Dyed's Etsy site. So I know that there were a couple of different ones, and this is the collection. She sells these separately as well, like the separate collection within the collections. Um, but yeah, I had to have it. So I'm a happy camper. I actually picked up today at Fiberspace the newest issue of Knit Scene. Yeah, Knit Scene. So it's a spring issue. I have not had a chance to look at it yet. When I do, I will do a review. You know me, I'll be honest. Um, but yeah. So let's go ahead and go to what's making me happy this week. There are a couple of thank yous I want to do for shout outs, and I'm going to grab my notebook again and move a few things. Sorry if I get any shaking, and I'm going out of frame. Okay. Thank you for the shout outs. Rena and Joe from the Knitiots. They've got one episode done right now, and I'm hoping that they're working on their second because they're awesome. They are from Canada, and yes, you get some of the Canadian accent in there, which makes me happy. It's a whole thing, hockey, yeah. But they gave me a shout out. If you haven't checked them out, definitely go check them out. They've got a group on Rav. They're on YouTube right now. And their podcast wasn't all that long, which is nice. Because you know that I can just blather on. But Rena and Joe are actually also both in the group, so thank you. And also I want to give a shout out to Megan and Amy on Stockinette Zombies. And Megan and Amy are also in the group, so hello. I actually at least one person has contacted me saying that they heard about me through you guys, so thank you very much. So when I was watching the latest episode this morning, it's like I heard the shout out and I was like, oh yay, squee. and Amy said something that really kind of made me giggle because she's like, I liked the episode length, they're bite size, which I was like, oh, that's cute because normally I blather on, but then I realized that the last couple of episodes have been within 30 minutes, so they are kind of bite-sized. I haven't tried to see how long this one's going to be yet. But thank you guys so much for that. Another thing that's making me happy was I was having a really just crap night sometime last week. Sorry, excuse me, itchy. And I went on Plurk, and I'm still not as active on there as I'd like to be, and it's just a matter of getting me to do it. But I happened to, I was on Plurk, and then I happened to be watching the Knitting on the Fly podcast, Katie Jetgirl 1313's podcast. And she was talking about minions, and that I guess maybe somebody took offense at the term minion. I don't know. I've been using it for years. Way back in the day when I ran the yarn shop in Old Town. Not the one that I teach at. Different one, closed. I mean, we used to joke when like a blogger would come in who's local and fairly well known, and we would joke that we were her minions because, and it was just all in good fun. So I don't understand where this, I guess I understand the negative connotation, but I don't understand it in knitting, I guess. I guess the same also goes for Megan and Amy on their last episode when they were talking about hoe for half finished object and that people were taking offense at it. And I can understand like hoe negative connotation, but it's a half finished object. It's not like ugh, that just annoys me. I'm like, I think it's funny. Maybe it's because I have the humor of a 12-year-old boy. I don't think so though, because not every knitter has that and they think it's funny. Anyway, so back to sorry, tangent. Um, but she was talking about minions the um and the knit along that she's doing, that a lot of bloggers are doing with Sadie from Yarnivore on, oh, it's escaping me. The cuddle, oh wow. Basically knitting a square for local shelters and how you can, and she's asking her minions to take part. Um, so she went on this whole minion thing, and then she was saying that, you know, she's got her minions, but she's a minion to everybody else that she watches. And then she starts listing people, and she listed me. I squeed. I've been squeeing a lot lately. I went on Plurk and I'm like, oh my God, Katie said I was her minion, and I'm totally yours too. Yeah, I'm a dork. But yeah, I was so happy because I was having a crap night. Um, but yeah, I consider myself a minion of anybody that I watch because if I take the time to sit down and watch you, that takes effort. I mean, yeah, I have iTunes and I download things through on my podcast app, and so yeah, it's not a ton of effort, but I'm sit down and make that effort to watch. And if I'm doing that, it's because I like you, and so I consider myself a minion. I'm just saying. So yeah, off of the minion topic. Hockey. Hockey's back. I know. Hockey's making me happy. My team not so much, but hockey's making me happy. Yesterday was opening day for the NHL, and there were a ton of games being played across the league. I was teaching yesterday morning, so when I got back, it was partway through I think it was halfway through the first of the Pittsburgh Philly game. And, it was, I was rooting for for the ice to melt, but that didn't happen. Yeah, I know there are probably some Pittsburgh fans out there just yelling, Pittsburgh and Philly fans yelling at me. Sorry. Every team's got their loyalty. Um, but yeah, but it was to get me in hockey mode. I was all in for I need to watch hockey again. So very, very happy it was back. Watched our game at 7 o'clock. We did not do so well. We came out hard in the first and then just kind of petered off. And a loss is upsetting no matter what, but it's one of those, it's the first game of the season. We've had, and this goes for all teams, 1 week in training camp. Actually, 6 days in training camp. And some of these guys were playing overseas, but we have a good chunk of guys who stayed at home and ran their own practices. They use their money to rent out the rink, and be able to run drills. So I think that combined with a new coach with a new system and just only having 6 days of practice, that's where a lot of our errors lied last night. Yeah. Plus defense just wasn't playing defense, which I understand. We want to play our defense a little bit more offensively, but we also have to remember that we're defense. So there's going to be probably some angsty what's making me happy. But Hockey's back. I'm a very happy camper about that. I'm watching teams that I normally wouldn't watch just because it's hockey. And I mean, I've been doing that with um, the World Juniors and trying to keep up with all of the AHL teams. But NHL hockey's back. We're not going to see anybody outside of our conference this year, so it's kind of sad that we're not going to see the Stanley Cup champions unless we both make it to the final round of the cup finals. I'm hoping for it. I'd love to see that happen. Am I holding my breath? No. We've gone 38 years without a cup. We Yeah. I'm hoping for that to change. Really hoping. Um, but yeah, so that's what's making me happy. Another thing that's making me happy is I graduated knitters all this weekend. I was teaching and I finished up yesterday. I finished up my beginning knitting students. It's a 3-week, fairly intensive class that we do at Fiberspace, and I graduated 5 new knitters. They were very, very excited. They were all looking for more classes to take and projects to do. So that makes me very happy. And then after that, I had a second class. It was a one-off 3-hour cabling class, and we used a scarf pattern that's got a couple of different sets of cables. And so it's more about the teaching people that they can cable and then teaching people how to read a chart. And so after the 3 hours, it was a small class of 3 people. And so I graduated new cabling students. They were very excited and they understood. They were like, oh my God, my brain kind of hurts because there's been a lot of thinking, but they were having fun with it. And like I do in all my classes, I gave them my email address. I gave them my Rav ID. I'm like, if you've got questions, message me. Let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I do. And then today, I graduated some new sock knitters. Yay! 4 new sock knitters. They all finished their first socks. It's a 3-week class, and we structure it. This is a toe-up sock class, so we're doing it on worsted weight yarn and size 5 needles, and we structure it so that by the 3rd week, they're learning how to bind off. So they've got 1 completed sock, and we get them cast on for the 2nd sock. And all of these people were very, very excited. They were new sock knitters. 2 people had already knit socks before. They'd done them top down instead of toe up, but they were really excited about learning these new methods. And the other 2 who had never knit socks before were just so excited that they'd knit socks, which makes me happy. I'm giggly. You can see this. I love doing this. So yeah, and one of them actually signed up for my sweater class this week. So yay, I get new students. Another thing that's making me happy, or at least that I'm hoping will make me happy, is I got a new camera. I don't know if the clarity is going to be any different or noticeable. I'm hoping that the audio is a little better. I don't know though. I was thinking about buying a microphone because it sounds to me that sometimes the audio, just listening to me, I sound far away, which if you're working with a webcam mic, that happens. So I decided, well, maybe I'll upgrade my camera, and then I'll give my mom my other one so she can Skype with her family, and then I can get a new one. And so I upgraded the camera. It's got supposedly 2 microphones on either side. Sorry, it probably looks like I'm coming through. We'll see how this goes. If not, I'm hoping that the picture quality is a little better too. I noticed that it was focusing a lot quicker, so that makes me happy. But if the sound quality isn't any better, I'll still look into getting a mic because I want you guys to hear me, or at least not have trouble hearing me. God, that sounded really, really vain. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what's making me happy this week. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this drawing for the skein of sock yarn. I'm going to pull up, sorry. I'm going to pull up the member listing from Ravelry, and I'm also going to pull up. You would think that I'd be prepared because I knew I was going to do this. Yeah, no. I can't remember which one I like. Sorry, I've got a couple of different random number generators on here. Okay, I'll use this one. So I am going to choose a number between 2 and 100. I hope you saw that because I had to do this. I'm actually going to move this. Okay, sorry about that. And done. So get number. So 49 for the 49th person who joined, which is Smurf fan Erica in Sweden. You won this lovely skein of Vesper sock yarn. It's the it's a self-striping yarn. It's 428 yards of self-striping goodness in the Winter's Passing colorway. I've probably had this in my stash for about a year and a half because it's pretty. It's one of those, I don't think that I'll ever get around to knitting with it. Who knows? But I've got lots of sock yarn. And I should let other people get on the bandwagon for the places that I love, even though that might make it harder for me to get any. So, Erica, please PM me. PM me your information, and I will get this sent off to you as soon as I can. And if I don't hear from you in a couple weeks, I'll give you a couple weeks. If I don't hear from you, then I will send you a private message on Rav, and we can get that sent out. But yeah, so congratulations, Erica. I really am amazed, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and for giving me feedback and just letting me know that you enjoy it. And for leaving the iTunes reviews. I haven't really talked about that a whole heck of a lot, but thank you. We're at 100 people in this group. That kind of makes me happy, as you can tell. I didn't think I'd get to this point. I didn't know if I'd get to double digits in this because it was more of I was trying it out. We'll see. And I've really been enjoying doing this. So thank you guys so much for all of your feedback and for watching. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for the week. Have a great week. If you guys need to reach me, you can reach me on Ravelry as Knit Girl, spelled conventionally. You can email me at sheepishpodcast@gmail.com, and I'm on Twitter and on Plurk as Sheepish Podcast. I have a personal Twitter account, which I actually yell about hockey and other things on. If you'd like that, message me. I really have no secrets, but I've kept the account private for a number of reasons, but it's hockey, and if you're a hockey fan, you may want, yeah, I follow lots of hockey people on Twitter. So yeah, have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you within the next week, if not a little longer, but hopefully it'll be a week. So have a great week. Thank you for coming or tuning in. You know, whatever. Thanks. Have a great week.